Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well. In this short lesson, I'm going to show you some useful phrases and expressions for making business phone calls. And we'll start with answering the phone. The most professional way to answer the phone is by saying hello, company name, your name, followed by speaking, and how can I help you, or how may I help you. Making a call and saying who's calling. Hello, this is your name, from your company. Could I speak to, please, or I'd like to speak to. Sometimes it can be necessary or helpful to mention someone you both know. For example, I'm a colleague of Michael Davis. He said I should call you about. Giving a reason for the call. I'm calling in connection with, or I'm calling with regard to, or I'm calling to inform you about, I'm calling to discuss, or I'm calling to arrange. Asking who's calling. If the caller doesn't give their name, you can ask, may I ask who's calling? Or, may I have your name please? If the caller does give their name but it was too quick for you to understand, you can say, I'm afraid I didn't quite catch your name at the start. Would you mind repeating it? Connecting the caller. Sometimes the person calling wants to speak to someone else, so you need to connect them. Just a moment please, I'll connect you now. Or, just a moment please, I'll put you through now. Asking the caller to wait. Do you mind if I put you on hold? Or, would you mind holding? Saying that the other person isn't available. I'm sorry, but he's not available at the moment. Or, I'm afraid she's on another call. Taking a message. Would you like to leave a message? Or, I'll ask her to call you back as soon as I see her. Or, if you'd like to leave a message, I'll make sure she gets it. Dealing with connection problems. I'm sorry, but you're breaking up. There must be a bad connection. I can barely hear you, or I can hardly hear you. When someone is breaking up, it becomes impossible to understand them because the connection is so bad. When we say we can barely or hardly hear someone, it means we can almost not hear them at all. I'm afraid the reception here isn't very good. Can I call you back a little later? The reception is basically how strong and clear the signal is. If the reception is bad, then the connection will probably be bad and you'll start to break up. Dealing with quiet speakers. Could you speak up, please? To speak up means to speak louder. Or, would you mind speaking a little louder, please? Dealing with fast speakers. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat it, please? Or, could you please speak a little slower? So I think this is one of the hardest things to do on the phone, is to deal with fast speakers. So you ask them to slow down, and they do. But after a few seconds, they speed up again, and you can't follow them. If this happens, you really need to put your foot down. It makes no sense at all if the call ends and one or even both speakers have not understood the content of the call. When both speakers do understand, it's a win-win situation, and that's what you want. So if you've asked the other person to slow down several times and they're still speaking too fast, try this. I'm very sorry, but I'm having trouble following you. Please slow down. Or, I'm really sorry, but if you don't speak more slowly, I simply won't be able to understand you. If the speaker ignores your requests for them to slow down, then you might even have to end the call. I'm very sorry, but I think I'll have to end the call now. It doesn't make sense to continue if I can't follow you. Now this all depends on who the caller is. If it's someone very important, then maybe it's not the right option. Checking information. I just want to make sure I got your name right. It's Patel. P-A-T-E-L, right? Sometimes you might need someone to spell their name, especially if it's a name you've never heard before. Would you mind spelling your name for me? Ending the call. Is there anything else I can help you with? Or is there anything else I can do for you? It was nice talking to you. Or, thank you very much for your call. Thanks and speak to you soon. Have a nice afternoon, or have a nice evening, or have a nice weekend. For example,
Good morning, Chic Boutique. How may I help you?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Morgan, please.
Who's calling, please?
This is John Wright from International Fashion Supplies.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
John Wright. That's W-R-I-G-H-T.
Okay, Mr. Wright. I'll try and put you through. I'm afraid the line's engaged. Would you like to hold?
Can I leave a message?
Certainly.
Could you please tell Mr. Morgan our latest shipment has been delayed and that the 300 dresses he ordered should arrive next Friday?
Dress order delayed. Arriving next Friday.
Yes, and would you please ask him to give me a call as soon as the shipment arrives?
Of course. Could you let me have your number, please?
Yes, it's 01632 96094.
That's 01632 96094.
Yes, that's right. Thanks for your help. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Key phrases. Listen and repeat.
Good morning, Chic Boutique. How may I help you? Good morning, Chic Boutique. How may I help you? Good morning, Chic Boutique. How may I help you?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Morgan, please. I'd like to speak to Mr. Morgan, please. I'd like to speak to Mr. Morgan, please.
Who's calling, please? Who's calling, please? Who's calling, please? Sorry, I didn't catch your name. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. Okay, Mr. Wright, I'll put you through. Okay, Mr. Wright, I'll put you through. Okay, Mr. Wright, I'll put you through. I'm afraid the line's engaged. I'm afraid the line's engaged. I'm afraid the line's engaged.
Can I leave a message? Can I leave a message? Can I leave a message? Would you please ask him to give me a call? Would you please ask him to give me a call? Would you please ask him to give me a call?
Could you let me have your number, please? Could you let me have your number, please? Could you let me have your number, please?
I hope those telephone phrases will be helpful to you in your future business phone calls.
Answer to accept a telephone call, something you say or write when someone asks you a question. Appropriate, right or suited for some purpose or situation. Call, an act of using the telephone. Call, to make a telephone call. Caller, a person who makes a telephone call. Concern, a feeling of worry usually shared by many people, something that causes people to worry. Contact, to call or write to communicate with. Delay, to make late, to make take longer than expected or planned. Department, one of the major parts of a company, organization, government, or school. Engaged, busy with some activity. Frustrate, to cause to feel angry, discouraged, or upset because of not being able to do something. Handle, to deal with successfully, to do the work required for. Hang up, to end a telephone call. Hold, to delay the handling of for a time. Issue, something that people are talking about, thinking about, etc., an important subject or topic. Line, a telephone connection. Message, a piece of information that is sent or given to someone. Order, a specific request asking a company to supply goods or products to a customer. Order, to request from a company. Promptly, without delay, exactly at a particular or the correct time. Properly, in a way that is acceptable or suitable. Put through, to cause a phone call from to be sent to another person's phone. Quiet, making very little noise, not talking. Receptionist, a person whose job is to deal with the people who call or enter an office, hotel, etc. Resolve, to find an answer or solution to settle or solve.